Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Fred Quinones from qtheexperts at eXp Realty. I just wanted to take a moment to maybe discuss a little bit about budgeting. For those people who have not ever done a budget or who are looking to understand a little bit more about how to control their financial position, their financial expertise, how they can potentially save money, because ultimately a lot of people are trying to understand some general questions about how can I get to a point where I want to purchase a home. And I think that budgeting oneself is a great tool to do even if you're not planning to purchase a home. I kind of say that budgeting is important for purchasing a home because if you're in a situation where you're with your loved one, your husband, your wife, your domestic partner, your boyfriend, girlfriend, or etc., and you're saying, hey, I want to purchase a home, but you're not quite yet comfortable with the question of how much can I truly afford, budgeting is a wonderful tool to help you with that. Take it from me, I'm not only a realtor, but I'm an accountant, so numbers are my forte. And I even, for my family, have a budget set for us. And of course, because of my experience, I have a little bit more of a in-depth one, but I want to keep it easy for you guys. Budgeting is very important because, especially for those people who are looking to purchase a home and are not quite sure how much they can afford or what they're looking for, budgeting can actually help you not only save money to be prepared to have an amount for a down payment and for the closing costs that are associated with purchasing a home, but it'll also help you understand not only that, what you can afford in a home mortgage payment with all the other expenses in life that come up. So let's start. When it comes to income, I'm going to keep it very simple. People can get very complicated with budgets, but this is just going to be a quick, simple tutorial to kind of try and help people get the building blocks of what's necessary. So let's start with the income, like I said. There's different forms of income, obviously. You can be working and get your W-2 and you get your paycheck every 1 or 2 weeks, right? Where you either work hourly or salary. There's people who work on contract, which they get a 1099 and a straight check, and then they have to worry about their taxes at the end of the year. There's other passive incomes that come from stocks and other things like that. But the fact of the matter is just do a simple activity with your family and look at what money you bring in after taxes, after paying insurance, and the net check that you get home every 1 or 2 weeks for all parties that are involved in this conversation, right? Add those up and see how much it is for the month. And that'll be the take-home pay that you have in your bank at the end of the month that you can use for the expenses that you need, like, car payments, rent, utilities like electricity and water, for gas and all those other things. Secondly, you're going to look at expenses, right? This is the little bit more complicated thing because you really have to be honest with yourself when it comes to the type of expenses that you have. Obviously, there's the obvious ones, right? There's a place that you got to live, and if you don't live with your parents still, you have to pay rent, or you're currently paying a mortgage, right? You'll have that. You'll have the utilities to keep the lights on, unless you live in the woods, right? And do bonfires all the time, which if you do, then you're saving yourself a lot of money. But most people aren't in that situation, right? You've got, the water bill, you've got potentially a car payment, you have gas, you have lunch money for the kids, you have spending money for the kids, you have spending money for yourself and your wife or your girlfriend or husband or boyfriend. You have all those extra expenses, Starbucks binge, right? Buying things online and stuff like that. But what you want to do is be honest and add those things up and give yourself an idea of how much do you really spend a month on everything that you want for yourself in the month. All the necessary bills that come up, like the reoccurring bills, like the electricity and all that stuff, but then even some discretional stuff, the stuff that you want to still be able to have and live comfortably, like going to the movies and the restaurant and the coffees and all those other things. By doing that, you might actually recognize that, wow, maybe I spend a little bit too much on those other discretional things, that I should probably taper back a little bit. Because at the end of the day, when you add up your income that you take home after taxes, and then you subtract from that all the expenses, whether they're reoccurring and necessary, and all of those discretionary expenses, if you're getting close to zero or you're negative, you have to look at your situation. And especially when it comes to getting ready to take that plunge to purchase a home, or if you already have a home and you're trying to upgrade, or any of those very important things that come around real estate, which tend to be a very long commitment, a 30-year mortgage, a 20-year mortgage. God bless you if you do a 15-year mortgage, right? You want to make sure that you really understand your financial position. So by doing that, it'll also give you the understanding of how much money you can really afford in a mortgage payment. I always try and operate with a sense of caution. So if you kind of see that you say that you can afford a $1,300 or let's say a $1,800 mortgage a month, I would always subtract, if you can, maybe $100 or $2 from that dollar amount. Because God always knows that life always brings its ups and downs, right? And you want to make sure that you always have yourself a cushion to be prepared for those unexpected things in life. So, you have your expenses, you have your income. Now you know whether you're going to have some extra money after all those things to start putting in the bank, right? If you find that you don't have that ability, you need to adjust things, because what you'll need when you're going to purchase a home, if this is your first time, is a down payment. And on top of a down payment, you're going to need money for closing. And that can be fairly costly. So what you can do with a budget, now that you have a monthly idea, is you can start to map yourself out beyond the month and look at maybe 6 months, a year, 2 years, and see how long it'll take for you to get sufficient amount of money saved for you to get a down payment for your mortgage, the purchase of your house, right? So the important thing is once again, it's a big truck over there. Might be able to see it. The important thing is just start very easy and see where you are, and be honest with yourself, and be honest with your other half, and look at things and see if there's ways that you can trim on things that you might not understand or realize that you're spending. Because when you do a budget, you sometimes wake up to the fact that maybe I'm spending a little bit too much on things. And after you've done that, it'll give you a better idea of where you can be and where you'd like to be. And it opens up honest dialect for everybody. If you'd like to know a little bit more or get a little bit more in depth on how you can prepare a more thorough budget, or maybe if you have a little understanding of Excel, or maybe you just want to know how to begin, by all means, any of you can reach out to me. I am more than happy to help everybody out. I can help you set up something in Excel so that you can follow it, or just sometimes pen and paper is the best way to do it, with a calculator or your phone. Not an abacus. I'm just kidding, guys. But I just want you to know that here at the Experts, we want to make sure that we help in whatever way we can. So hopefully this information was useful to everybody. We'd love to share, and once again, every week we'll be doing more of these type of things. So on behalf of Nicole, who's not here, and I, Fred, at the Experts at eXp Realty, we are very honored to be able to serve you guys. And once again, if you need anything, by all means, just reach out to us. Our information will be at the end of the video for you guys to reach out to us and call us. But this is Fred from the Experts at eXp Realty. Budget your financials so that you understand where you're at. And I hope you guys have a great day, all right? See you soon.